is I coat the surface to have a sleek coat. So I don't necessarily need to be really greasy. As a matter of fact, I want a little bit of tooth, so I don't want to overdo it. It's white and milky when it's wet, and when it dries, that white completely comes off, and I will be left with the black. I'm basically going to smooth this out in the direction that I have C underneath here. That's 70 degrees. I have prepared a little off gray, which is white, a little bit of the black, Romber, ultramarine blue, mostly white, a little bit of yellow ochre, to have a very light off-white gray. Now, this may look gray on top of the white, but if I put it on top of the black, it looks like white. And what I'm gonna start doing here is adding little texture. Sometimes I drag my brush a little bit to create those flames. Again, don't be afraid by this. All I'm trying is adding more texture, more background. So my veins are not just floating. You follow the natural movement of the stone, the different layers of soil that became minerals. And you know, see, I have not reloaded my brush, so I have part a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of yellow ochre, and I'm just gonna add here and there. It will add a little bit of depth to our work and create again a little bit of background where you have a little bit of warmth. Up and down, again in the direction that I started with. You know, when I applied my background, I decided this would be the direction. I could have gone horizontal, I could have gone vertical. But I want to use some of the background, so every layer adds another, you know, element to this work. So at the end, again, it's 8 motion and up and down, 8 motion. Go right to the edge and up and down. Very greasy, very nice, very smooth. Look at the detail I'm getting this. Look at the texture. Absolutely wonderful. And again, if you decide, oh, I'm too heavy here, I need to make it a little, you know, it's too white here. Just take my Chiqueteur, nothing on it, watch. And I can open it up. So, oh, this is a little too saturated. So you can do that. I don't need to, I'm just showing you what I would do if I were not happy with that background. But I'm lacking the fact that I have a lot of texture now. In my cup, I have a little bit of transparent glaze, and I'm gonna take that gray, first the pre-mixed gray, and a little bit of white, and flatten my brush, and off I go. So when you do these things, you gotta be really decisive. They are like fitting into each other. This is very important to get this really nice broken action. This is not a soft, wormy kind of vein. It's something that has a lot of character. And they're all pointing, even though there's a direction, they're all pointing the same direction. This is very, very important. I'm getting the bottom a little heavy-handed just because I want some anchoring point. And switch to another brush, some big flat, very sharp. I can add a little bit of yellow ochre. It's nice to have just a little change of color. Here we go. All right, now back to the gray. So this is a sharper brush. give me a sharper line. It's really important is to get this little succession of vein that they're not completed. Very, very important. Yet another brush, a little more white, and this time, each time I'm changing brush, I'm adding a bit more white. Again, those little accents, if you will, add a bit of life. And I'm gonna start a little bit of smoothing out. Again, very important to follow the direction. I don't wanna go this way to make them too fat. I wanna keep them elongated, but feathered. There we go. Again, up and down. And at the end, a little bit left and right, but I don't want to abuse that, okay? Now, this is the moment where I come back with a very sharp brush. Again, that gray, but less material, a little more dry. And I'm gonna start adding some very fine veins that are crossing. Now these happen, those are fissures. They do happen, say, thousands or hundreds of thousands of millions of years after the creation of first veining. So that's why they don't follow the same direction. They're very thin. I'm gonna keep my brush very, very sharp because I'm working on this. So I have a very sharp edge. And it's not a perfect X, you see? We don't want that. We want a different angle, the way they stagger. And you can have one that's slightly S-shaped like this. Yeah, I'm gonna get a bit of that beautiful yellow ochre and maybe underline one or two of those things. Very, very light. You see, I'm working with no pressure. We're gonna get this super, super sharp. I'm gonna smooth them out. And that's why I smooth out the first part to get them elongated and bring them up. Adding a little bit of movement here and there. Get some beautiful, what we call primary veins, the white, strong one. With these ones are flat but more transparent. Secondary veins. And then you have tertiary veins, small, thinner one. I'm going to add those little seashells here and there, little snails. You know, they're not always the same size. You just gotta be careful not too many of them. I'm just gonna do some pure whites just to break up this module here.